This player is missing out. Danilo Gallinari recently just signed with the Milwaukee Bucks, and with the Boston Celtics having an open roster spot and a team that went after a guy in a reunion in Danilo Gallinari, this is the wrong decision for him to make, choosing the Milwaukee Bucks. And we're going to discuss why on this episode of Celtics Digest, why he should have chosen the Boston Celtics over a team like Milwaukee. Also be diving in, looking at Jayson Tatum getting ahead of this All-Star game, going to be doing his first announcing gig at the three-point contest, and also be looking at the Celtics getting a new documentary based on this team this year. All of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Velez. But before we dive into this Boston Celtics content, 79% of our viewers are not subscribed, and would greatly appreciate if you guys hit that big old red subscribe button and join the Celtics Digest family. We want to get to our goal of 4,000 subscribers, so the thousands of you guys that watch our videos daily, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date on daily Boston Celtics content. But let's get into the news at hand today. Without further ado, make sure to grab a snack as it is going to be a jam-packed episode as we dive in looking at the first topic, which is the Celtics getting a new documentary. Now, before I dive in, I want to say apologies for not the daily consistent uploads the last couple of days. My laptop did break and we have a new little technology here, so it looks a little bit different, and I do want to apologize for the not uploading. But let's get in looking at the new documentary. We saw a tweet from the NBA Dunk Central today talking about a camera crew has been following the Boston Celtics all season, filming a multi-part documentary series similar to The Last Dance. And this was via The Greg Hill Show and Justin Turpin. But we also saw some confirmation from Wick Gruzbeck, who also confirmed that this was happening as well. Now, my honest opinion from hearing this news is a little bit contradictory. I think it's really cool that the Celtics will be getting a documentary, especially because the Patriots are getting theirs, the Red Sox are getting theirs, Boston sports are getting their love for the domination that they've had in the 2000s. But I want to say one thing and one thing only is that the Celtics have yet to win a chip yet. So filming a documentary for them, in my honest opinion, is very, very cool. But I don't want to get made fun of or for this to be thrown around and tossed around around the playoff season if the Celtics were to get eliminated. I think it would be very, very humiliating as a Celtics fan to, have this documentary hyped up and being announced at this All-Star break when the Celtics are atop of the Eastern Conference. And if the championship window were to fall short for this team, I think it would be an utter disappointment to, release that documentary or even have that background noise being a thing. That's why I think it's a little bit of a concern, and I think Twitter and people over social media will really, really over ratify this and make it something bigger than it should be. Obviously, the Celtics do deserve their documentary as they are a special team, but I think I would have waited for this Celtics core and this Celtics team to win a championship. If you want to base it off the Last Dance and do some sort of Last Dance-esque thing, you have to wait for this team to actually win rings and cement their legacy. In the Last Dance, that documentary is based off of 6 rings. With this Celtics core, we have 0. We have 1 finals appearance, which is great, but I am very, very concerned about how this will look for the media and look towards Celtics fans. I think it will be entertaining to watch regardless of the fact, but if the Celtics do lose with having this documentary, it will definitely hurt a bunch of Boston Celtics fans' hearts watching this unfold in front of their eyes. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Also, I want to keep diving in, looking at some more topics, looking at Jayson Tatum announcing the All-Star break. And Jayson Tatum has been a menace this year for this Boston Celtics team. But he gets to take a little bit of a break and gets to do some announcing, which I think will be really, really cool for the man. We want to dive in and look. Jayson Tatum is expected to make his broadcasting debut as an analyst for the three-point contest on All-Star Saturday night. I think this is cool having JT, kind of get to work the All-Star break as an analyst, kind of getting to see what he can talk about and bringing his knowledge for the game, especially as he is a dominant three-point shooter and one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA. He sure likes to fire a lot of them and wants to be consistent at them, so it's definitely nice that he gets to commentate that. Also want to mention Jaylen Brown. I know we've talked about him in the dunk contest, but him being there at the dunk contest too, having JB obviously being on the side, JT being on the side, will be really, really entertaining for him to watch. And even though he won't be announcing and commentating the dunk contest, I'm sure he'll be helping out in, wanting to congratulate and appreciate Jaylen Brown in his efforts to try to win said dunk contest. Now, Jayson Tatum, I haven't really seen him do that much announcing, so I don't know how great he is going to be, but like I mentioned, he is a phenomenal three-point shooter and is very, very good at what he does. So I think that he'll give some great insight for the three-point contest, and a lot of fans will get to finally see what JT's insight is on the NBA. And I want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on that comment as well. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of the JT and JB stuff happening at the All-Star break. I think it's very, very cool for the Boston Celtics to have some representation at the All-Star break, even if it's not just them playing in the All-Star game. Having a guy being a commentator and having a guy do the dunk contest, I think elevates this Boston Celtics team and shows them that we really do care about the All-Star break. Lastly, we're going to be diving into the topic that you guys care about the most, which is Danilo Gallinari making the wrong decision and choosing the Milwaukee Bucks over the Boston Celtics. Now, this could be a little contradictory as, with the Milwaukee Bucks, he is going to be getting a lot more playing time as they do need some wing help. But I do think that he would have a better chance of winning a championship and being a more impactful piece on this Boston Celtics team than a team like the Milwaukee Bucks. If we want to dive in, Shams Charania dropped this tweet yesterday saying that free agent Danilo Gallinari is finalizing a deal with the Milwaukee Bucks, sources tell The Athletic and Stadium. Gallinari's agent, Michael Tellem, has been discussing options with several title contenders this week. It also came out that Danilo Gallinari was being asked to, want to go to possible other teams, the Cleveland Cavaliers, Chicago Bulls, the Los Angeles Clippers were also a team mentioned. Pat Bev kind of broke the news that it was going to be the Bucks or the Clippers, which was kind of hilarious as well. But he ultimately chose the Bucks, helping out with their wing endeavors as they have, Jay Crowder, Bobby Portis, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton. But having another scorer and another three-point shooter like Danilo Gallinari could help out this offense for the Milwaukee Bucks. The only problem with that is that the Milwaukee Bucks' problem is obviously not their offense, it's their defense. And bringing a guy like Danilo Gallinari, he's an all-right defender, can hold his own, but he's not exceptionally known for being an all-out guarding defender and being that guy at the defending level. So in my personal opinion, I think it's a little bit weird that he would choose a team like Milwaukee. I know that they have a high chance of making the playoffs, high chance of making a deep run. They all click after the All-Star break with Doc Rivers. I know that it can physically be done, but we've seen this Milwaukee Bucks team with Adrian Griffin, with Doc Rivers, struggle with both of these coaches. And I do believe it is not a coaching matter with this team. I do believe it's a roster construction matter with the Milwaukee Bucks, and how they're constructed is why they cannot succeed. A guy like Chris Middleton is making $40-50 million and cannot play in back-to-backs. Al Horford makes around $10 to $12 million and can't play in back-to-backs. And I think that is a key piece for why this Bucks team hasn't been able to be built for success. But let's not keep diving on this Bucks. Let's talk about the Celtics and how this kind of impacts them, because I personally thought that Danilo Gallinari was the best piece that the Celtics could go after in the buyout market, and I thought he can make big leaps for this Celtics team. We want to look at his stats. I'm going to say in Washington was getting no playing time, so 7.3 points, 2.8 rebounds, and 1.3 assists is not what he can do. 45% from the field, 35% from three, 86% from the free throw. This guy can be a three-level scorer. It could help out any bench unit that he is on. Unfortunately for the Celtics last year, he was hurt, so he could not play for us, and that's why I think he didn't really want to come back to the Celtics. I would have loved to see him come, but he wasn't in agreement with the Celtics. The Celtics weren't really in agreement with him, but it would have been a cool story for him to come back. Ultimately, though, like I mentioned, I think he would have been a great piece to kind of bring in to help out at the wing position, kind of being another Hauser for the Celtics, fitting in with that Oshae Brissett role. If Brad Stevens wanted to work a reunion with Danilo Gallinari, he surely would have, but it seems like that bridges was burnt, and it seemed like there was no direction there. Honestly, though, wishing the best for Danilo Gallinari, even though I do believe he made the wrong decision, as I don't think that the Milwaukee Bucks are fully built at this moment to make a deep playoff run. We just saw the Miami Heat get DeLon Wright as well off the buyout market, and they're a team that's going to be trying to come back. So I think that there's going to be a lot of competition after this All-Star break, and we'll fully truly see, who are the real contenders in the Eastern Conference, I believe, a week or two after this All-Star break. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think that Danilo Gallinari made the wrong decision joining the Milwaukee Bucks over the Boston Celtics, or do you think he should have came back to the Celtics? Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode here on Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Velez, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.